serious diplomatic pressure, but also this amazing rap lyric thrown in.
Yeah, that definitely catches your attention.
Right. So our mission here in this deep dive is really to get why Nigeria is pushing back so hard against U.S. demands about accepting deportees, prisoners.
And what it all tells us about international relations, migration, sovereignty, all that big stuff.
Exactly. We're looking at BBC reports, other news sources, trying to piece it together for you.
And the Nigerian stance, it's really quite striking. Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuggar, he's been very, very clear.
Unequivocal, really.
Yeah. No Venezuelan deportees, no third country prisoners coming from the U.S. End of story.
And he used that quote, didn't he, from Flava Flav?
He did. Public enemy. Just laid it out there. Flava Flav has problems of his own. I can't do nothing for you, man.
Wow. I mean, that's not just memorable. It's pretty defiant.
It really sums up their whole argument.
Yeah, it perfectly captures why they're saying no. Like, look, we've got over 230 million people here. Mm-hmm. Tuggar said it point blank. Enough problems of our own. It just feels unfair, he said, to take on, say, 300 Venezuelan deportees or prisoners.
Right. And he's also worried about how it would look domestically, the public reaction if they just gave in.
Understandable. But this refusal isn't happening in a vacuum, is it? There's significant U.S. pressure involved.
Oh, absolutely. Washington hasn't been subtle. They've talked about restricting visas, even hiking tariffs if countries don't play ball on deportations.
And we've already seen some moves on the visa front, right? For Nigeria, Cameroon, Ethiopia.
Yeah, that's right. Single entry now, only 3 months validity. The State Department is framing it as global reciprocity realignment.
Reciprocity. Meaning, you make it tough for our citizens, we make it tough for yours.
That's the official line. But Tuggar, he doesn't quite see it that way.
He called it a pressure tactic.
Exactly, not genuine reciprocity. And then you've got the whole sort of background noise from past threats, too.
Like the tariff threat. The 10% thing linked to BRICS countries.
Right, the idea of tariffs on countries maybe leaning towards BRICS policies the U.S. doesn't like. And Nigeria is a BRICS partner country, not a full member, but involved.
So is that directly related, the BRICS connection and the deportation pressure?
Well, Tuggar argues it's not necessarily about BRICS participation specifically.
Okay.
He sees it more as part of a kind of broader U.S. push, trying to get African countries generally to accept deportees, and critically, some of these people are coming straight out of U.S. prisons.
Ah, okay. So it's a wider pattern he's seeing.
Seems like it, and it fits with other reporting, too. The Wall Street Journal mentioned internal documents.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, showing the Trump administration was pushing 5 West African nations on this.
Exactly. Liberia, Senegal, Mauritania, Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, pushing them to accept migrants.
Though Liberia's foreign minister denied those specific talks, right?
She did, Sarah B. Solananti. Pushed back publicly.
But still, the fact that Trump himself mentioned safe third country agreements in a meeting with those leaders.
Mm-hmm. It suggests the idea was definitely on the table. These agreements where migrants get sent somewhere else, not home.
Right. And it wasn't just those 5 countries either.
No. Reports suggest others were courted too, like Benin, Eswatini, Libya, Rwanda. And we've seen actual deportations, 8 people to South Sudan recently. 5 described as barbaric migrants sent to Eswatini.
Barbaric. That's really strong language.
It is. And it points to how these narratives can get framed, maybe to justify the pressure. It definitely highlights the often dehumanizing rhetoric you sometimes hear.
So it really underscores that Nigeria isn't alone in facing this.
Not at all. It seems like a continent-wide strategy from the U.S. perspective.
Okay, so Nigeria is facing this pressure. It's part of a bigger picture. How are they handling it diplomatically? Are they just saying no and that's it? Or is there some negotiation happening?
Well, they are talking. Discussions are ongoing with the U.S. to try and, smooth things over, find a way forward.
Do they have any leverage here? Or is it all U.S. pressure?
Oh, they definitely have leverage. It's not just one way. Think about what Nigeria has.
Resources.
Big time. Gas reserves.
Yeah.
Critical minerals. Rare earths. Stuff that American tech companies, for instance, really need.
Ah, so that creates an opening for deals, maybe?
Potentially, yes. It gives them cards to play beyond just the deportation issue. Now, the U.S. Embassy in Abuja insists the visa changes weren't retaliation.
Right, they said technical and security benchmarks.
Mm-hmm. But looking at the whole picture, it's hard not to see it as interconnected, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you step back, this whole situation, it really lays bare these fundamental tensions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Between a nation's own needs and these external pressures.
It really does. What's fascinating is how it shows this complex interplay. National sovereignty clashing with global migration issues, all mixed up with economic leverage.
You see these countries like Nigeria dealing with huge internal challenges.
While also facing these demands from, a global superpower.
So it's more than just Nigeria versus the U.S. It's a kind of case study.
Exactly. It shows how nations, especially developing nations, might be using their own challenges, their resources, to actually push back and redefine how they engage with global powers, not just accepting terms.
Asserting sovereignty in a very 21st century way.
A shift, perhaps.
So it leaves you, the listener, with a pretty big question, doesn't it? How do nations balance all this? Their own serious internal problems, maybe humanitarian concerns, national identity, against these international pressures and responsibilities.
Especially when economics and diplomacy are being used as tools.
It definitely makes you think about what words like reciprocity really mean on the world stage today. Something to mull over.